beginning to think about what comes next. FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell.
And good morning and welcome to the WSJM Morning Show video live stream. I'm Ken Lundberg, and with me this morning is Mike Weibel. Good morning, Mike. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you, Ken.
Thank you. What do you got over there? I like to do a beverage check because Mike has he has great taste in water. Look at that. You got the Pellegrino. Is that a glass bottle or a plastic bottle?
Plastic. I didn't buy it.
No, that's okay. That's all right. And then what do you have over there? Is that coffee?
Yeah, it was coffee. It's my second coffee of the day, which is unusual, but
Oh.
also might inspire why I'm a little teed up for Friday.
Were you watching the
caffeinated.
Notre Dame football game last night?
I only watched until halftime, and then I went to
Okay.
bed.
All right. So
Because
you
I
watched
had
till
to be up.
halftime. So at halftime, were they losing?
Yes.
Okay.
10-3, Penn State at halftime.
The Nittany Lions. Oh.
And then a couple interceptions, couple touchdowns, a field goal, and Notre Dame pulls it out.
Is it time to root for Notre Dame yet? Because they're going to the national championships now. Do we do that?
You're kind of like sister.
I'm going to say no.
Okay. Well, then, no.
Well, I mean, when I just remember when because we're in St. Joe, Benton Harbor, but we do cover a larger area.
Yes.
And for news and those sorts of things. Good morning to you on the video live stream, by the way. Thank you for joining us. And when Niles was going to the state championships, we rooted for Niles.
We did.
Like no tomorrow. But now that we're on the college level, I just can't extend that courtesy to Notre Dame. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm not a foosball fan anyway.
Well,
I mean, I am, but I'm not.
Right.
I don't like to invest in it because I get disappointed a lot, and I just don't like that.
So when my oldest daughter went to St. Mary's.
Yes.
In South Bend.
Right next to Notre Dame.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they in the college merch shop.
Yeah.
They used to have a shirt that said St. Mary's football undefeated since 18 whatever.
No football team.
There's no football team.
I love that.
Yeah, it was good.
I love that. I saw when I went to community college in Wenatchee, we had a football team and a ski team, and I was a member of the ski team.
Really?
Yeah, I loved the downhill ski team. And well, it wasn't the team; it was a program.
Okay.
And we were all in training to be ski patrol. And then I got through a couple of quarters or semesters, whatever the system was. And then my parents found out I was taking the ski program. They said, you're paying for your college from here on out, right?
Oh.
Yeah. So, but boy, did I learn how to ski well. I just loved it. It was so much fun. Oh, it was a great time. Great time. And then, but the football team, the football program, I think it went away. And then I went to Boston University to finish up my degree many years later, and they don't have a football team.
No.
Yeah. But the Terriers, they have hockey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, what are you looking at there? What do you got?
I was just looking at our live stream and saying hello to Diane.
Oh, good. Hi, Diane. It's good to see you. See, I don't see the comments there. All I see is yours.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Is yours the only comment there?
No.
Oh.
Diane says, "Good morning. Happy weekend."
We got to get this thing fixed.
I said,
All right.
hello, Diane.
It's 7:04. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
She has not yet responded to my hello.
On the video live stream. Hello, Diane. It's good to see you there. We'll talk in a couple of minutes. Something Mike brought up about the Leaping Cat logo controversy that's preying on Tiger Woods. Preying on Tiger. Stalking him like a cat. Coming up in just a couple of moments. We'll also talk about, remember a few weeks ago or a couple of months ago, we talked about how Russia was dragging up in the northern Europe area.
The broadband
They're
cable.
Dragging their anchors, or at least they had a Chinese ship dragging anchor to cut some internet things. Apparently it's happened again in a different area of the world. We'll talk about that in just a few moments right here on the WSJM Morning Show.
Settle your tax debt quickly and affordably. Call the Tax Relief Helpers hotline at 800-885-0622. That's 800-885-0622. Start your relief today.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
Good morning and welcome to the WSJM Morning Show. For your Friday, it's January 10th already. January 10th already.
Already.
10 days have gone by in the new year. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me this morning is Mike Weibel. Hello, Mike.
Hello, Ken.
22 degrees in Benton Harbor right now, 23 in St. Joseph, 23 in South Haven. We've got some snow flurries out there. I think that's an accurate description. Doesn't look like it's doing much right now, although it's starting to blow around. And I would assume in some of the open areas of our county and our listening area, you might run into some wind with the snow that could create a visibility issue. Do be careful with that. Not getting any reports of it causing too slick of roadways, but do be careful because as you get a little bit more on there, that could happen. The forecast for today does call for some snow accumulation, somewhere between 1 and 4 inches, depending on where it hits. We've got conflicting reports, but we do have a winter weather advisory in effect starting at 10 o'clock this morning. There's a high today expected around 27 degrees. We've got the snow accumulation anywhere between 1 and 4 inches of snow, depending on where it decides to settle in. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight's forecast, cloudy skies, a 70% chance of light snow, low around 22, west winds 5 miles per hour. And tomorrow's forecast, mostly cloudy, high around 28, west winds 5 to 15. So the snow is going to happen today and tonight. It's going to taper off into tomorrow, and then maybe we have another chance of snow on Sunday. But that's it.
Yeah.
Wintertime. Michigan.
Diane, our remote weather correspondent, says that it is light flurries in Buchanan.
Light flurries in Buchanan right now. Thank you, Diane, for that report.
And Bill has joined us.
And anyone else that wants to give us a weather report, feel free to do it. You can either call us here in the studio or weigh in with a comment on our video live stream on Facebook or YouTube. Just type in WSJM in the search bar, and you can get the video live stream. It's unedited, unfiltered content.
That's right.
Through the entire
unedited and unfiltered.
Speaking of filters,
Juicy.
Speaking of filters, some of the news from the WSJM newsroom this morning. You got to boil your water if you're in South Haven in the 1100 block of Phoenix.
Oops happened.
Yeah, there was a water main break, and crews were working to fix it. Unfortunately, as they were fixing it, they lost enough pressure to trigger the boil order.
Yeah.
Because they don't want you ingesting any kind of harmful bacteria or anything like that. And so, again, there is a boil order in effect immediately. It started last night in the 1100 block of South Haven on Phoenix. You're close to downtown there, so it's mostly businesses that are affected.
Yeah.
The city apologizes for the inconvenience, and they say they will notify area folks when the boil order is done.
Especially for those breakfast restaurants, it's got to really stink.
It usually takes about 24 hours for any testing. So once you put something in like a boil order, you got to wait at least 24 hours. That'll be in effect for 24 hours. So that would put it around probably 7 o'clock tomorrow night.
So if you're planning on going out for breakfast in South Haven, you might want to go somewhere
in that area, 1100 block of Phoenix Avenue. Other news that we're following, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission is hosting a meeting next week to discuss Holtec International's plans for repairs at the Palisades nuclear power plant. This is part of the ongoing work to restart the Palisades plant next fall. One item raising particular interest is Holtec's plan to repair steam generator tubes using a sleeving method. Holtec officials say sleeving can repair the degraded tubes and prevent them from having to be removed from service. Now, some people are taking issue with that plan. Kevin Camps represents the group Beyond Nuclear and says these are temporary fixes and they will not be effective.
Sleeving increases the risks of stress corrosion cracking on those tubes, which is Holtec's apparent plan. So we're going to fight it tooth and nail because we live downwind.
The meeting between the NRC and Holtec is open to the public and will be available online. The meeting happens Tuesday at 1 in the afternoon. We have details on how to join at our website, WSJM.com. United Way of Southwest Michigan is inviting community members to apply to join their board of directors or one of their standing committees. President and CEO Anna Murphy tells us this is an excellent opportunity to make a significant impact on the lives of individuals in Berrien, Cass, and Van Buren counties.
We're always looking for board members and committee members. And what we decided to do was a little bit more of a process of letting the community know that we're looking for board and committee members, and maybe somebody from the community that we haven't even thought of has an interest in serving with United Way.
The organization is looking for 12 to 15 people to serve on various committees, and then they're also looking for 2 to 4 members to join their board Interested individuals have until January 28th to apply. A link with more information is available on our website, WSJM.com. The Berrien County Sheriff's Office and the New Buffalo Township Fire Department are hosting a pancake fundraiser this weekend. It happens tomorrow.
Because pancakes are fun.
Pancakes are fun. The event happens tomorrow in New Buffalo. Sheriff Chuck Hite says they're hosting the event in part to benefit Special Olympics.
As you know, we're getting close to the Polar Plunge, which benefits the Special Olympics. So just a little plug for a fundraiser for both teams together. We do it together. We've done it for a couple of years now. We'll promise great pancakes for a great cause.
The pancake breakfast will take place 9 a.m. to noon at the New Buffalo Public Safety Building. The previous fundraiser, they raised more than $2,000 and served some 700 attendees.
Wow.
That's a lot of flapjacks.
That's a lot of pancakes.
Do you have a good favorite pancake recipe?
I'm not, as I've gotten
Have you ever made pancakes?
Yeah.
Okay.
But my wife's really
Crusties?
good at it.
Okay. Crusties. You ever have the Crusties mix?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think there's plastic in that one. But then also the
That's why they stick together so well.
Snoqualmie Falls mix. If you ever get your hands on that,
Okay.
that's good stuff. Go ahead.
I was going to say my wife makes the small, the big ones, and then German pancakes.
Oh, what are German pancakes?
Oh, I knew you were
Is that
gonna
like
say that.
plate size?
No, they're thin, almost like a crepe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Very fun.
A crepe.
Yeah, my father-in-law loves German pancakes.
Okay. Very good. All right. What kind of filling do you put in them?
You can
Because I put peanut butter.
Well, they do lingonberry,
Oh, okay.
lingonberry, and fruit normally, and
All right.
sometimes you can put I normally roll up like a piece of bacon in the middle of it.
Oh, you know what's really good with crepes sometimes?
Mm.
If you have a good cheese.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, just put a little cheese in there and let it melt in there, and then just
I will put my wife
savory.
had an idea to start a crepes cart in St. Joe.
Oh, that's a good
And
idea.
I said she should call it Crepes Happen.
What?
Yeah.
Crepes happen. All right. It's the WSJM Morning Show. We've got sports coming up in just a minute. And then also we're going to continue our sports chitter chatter about Tiger Woods. I didn't know this. I didn't know is it a shoe line?
It's a golf apparel line.
Golf apparel
Hats,
overall?
Yeah, the whole deal.
Oh, so he's got a new logo for it, and he's running into some legal trouble. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. That's coming up right here on the WSJM Morning Show.
Mitch Jeter's 41-yard field goal with 7 seconds.
All right, it's the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. Over there is Mike Weibel. Mike has promised a juicy show today.
That's right.
So,
Gone juicy.
oh, dear.
Need your citrus. It's the place to be.
Oh, boy. Let's see.
Because we're going to squeeze the juice out of this.
I'm going to let you run with that. I don't know where it's going.
I don't either.
All right.
So Teresa yours joined us.
Hey, Teresa.
And let's see.
We got
of course,
Bill.
Bill's out there.
We got Diane.
Bill's always
We got
out there,
Teresa. And a couple
Bill-
others.
If Bill didn't show up on our Facebook live stream, I think we'd send out a wellness check.
Yes. Let's see here. TikTok. Oh, this United States Supreme Court today. Arguments over TikTok.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. I hope they're broadcasting this one. Sometimes they broadcast the audio from the Supreme Court arguments.
Yeah.
I wish they had cameras in there. I don't know why they don't allow
I don't
cameras in there. And maybe it's to, they just
Avoid repercussions to
Well-
judgments that you don't like.
No, I think it's so you don't catch them sleeping by accident.
Oh,
You said you were watching the Jimmy Carter funeral yesterday.
Yep.
And did you think Barack Obama had nodded off?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He tapped out.
What I liked most about seeing the folks in attendance at Jimmy Carter's state funeral at the National Cathedral was that you had all the living presidents, former presidents there, current and former, and Trump and Obama were giggling about something.
They were.
That was
Yeah.
kind of nice to see.
It looked like it made Kamala a little uncomfortable.
No comment. I thought she was uncomfortable because of Joe Biden sitting right next to her.
Well, I could have
I think Jill was in between. She was the buffer. But and then also George W. Bush.
The Bushes looked old.
Really?
I mean, they are, but they certainly have aged. And then Gore. Did you see Gore back there?
Oh, I didn't see him.
Yeah, Gore was sitting back there with Pence. Pence looks the same always, but Gore. looked like-
President-elect Trump and Mike Pence shook hands.
Yep. Yeah.
But you said Gore. Is he looking?
Yeah, he was looking a little
He's-
like he could just cut him off at the chest and make it
Yeah.
into a bust and be done with
Well,
it.
he's probably thinking, how can I take credit for inventing AI?
Right. Well, right. He's probably trying to figure out how to not take credit for the fires.
No.
You don't want to do that, but
No.
he did invent the internet. So
Well, and so members of Congress, they will oftentimes put out news releases that say things like, "Hey, we funded the creation of this,"
right,
and he got caught up in that one. So
yeah,
funded the creation of the internet. Which anyway, all right,
Yeah, it didn't
7:15
happen.
WSJM morning show continues.
Day. We'll see 1 to 3 inches of accumulation, most of that happening this afternoon and this evening. High temperatures right around 27. Take it easy on the roads. Morning will be easy. It's the afternoon and evening that will be the concern. Light snow tonight. We drop down to 22. And then for tomorrow, 28 with mostly cloudy skies. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
Let's see. Let's think of synonyms for pancakes. You've got pancakes, griddle cakes, flapjacks.
Yep.
Thick crepes, silver dollar
Yeah.
cakes. What else? What other synonyms can we come up with pancakes?
Oh.
Anyway, we're talking
all I
about
got.
it's all we have. It's the
Yeah.
WSJM morning. What do you call a pancake in German? How do you say that? Come on.
I have no
You're
idea.
always breaking out the German heritage stuff. Think about it. Find out. Find out.
I know.
All right.
I get these assignments thrown at
It's
me.
it's the WSJM morning show. This is so that your phone doesn't make noise over there.
I turned it down.
This is the WSJM morning show. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. With me this morning, taking my abuse, is Mike Weibel. Thank you, Mike. It's Friday, January 10th, 7:17, and the U.S. Supreme Court working on a Friday. Go ahead. What?
Flammkuchen.
Flammkuchen. This is a Flammkuchen show. No, that's how you say pancake in German, huh?
Yeah.
Are we getting the pronunciation anywhere near correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kuchen.
All right.
Kuchen is cake.
Flammkuchen. All right.
So my father-in-law, one of his favorite things is plumkuchen, which
Ooh,
is
plum cake.
Yeah, plum cake.
Okay.
Which
See,
is
I can speak
Italian
German.
plums.
Oh.
And it's basically over like a flat, thin breaded cake crust.
That sounds really good.
Yeah. I'll have to bring you some. My wife makes it for me every once in a while.
I really like kuchen.
But you have to get, yeah. Because we're fat kids. That's
Yes,
why.
yes, we are. Okay, I'm looking at the. I missed it. All right,
yeah.
we're looking at the footage, the file footage. Oh, there he is. Okay, Mike Pence and Al Gore sitting next to each other at the state funeral yesterday.
See, Biden.
Yeah, so they were all
Wow.
getting along well yesterday at Jimmy Carter's state funeral. The former presidents, former and current president, were all there in attendance. So that's I like that because of what it says about our democracy. We don't have to kill each other to get along.
Yeah. So one of the very cool speeches that was given during the funeral.
Stay on, Mike.
Oh,
Sorry.
during the funeral, I was watching because there's Pence and Gore. Was from Jimmy Carter's, or no, Gerald Ford's son or grandson.
Okay.
Talking about his relationship, how they got to be friends, Jimmy Carter and Gerald Ford.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And
they
it was
did.
just a cool story, and talking about how they were on a plane, Air Force One, on the way to the Middle East for some type of deal, and started talking, and all of a sudden, before you know it, became fast friends.
Yeah.
And so at the end, Gerald Ford asked Jimmy Carter to speak at his funeral. And Jimmy Carter asked him to speak at his funeral. So they both pre-wrote obituaries for each other.
No kidding.
In case, and so they read Gerald Ford's obituary for Jimmy Carter. It
That's
was very
really cool.
Yeah, it was one of the best parts, I thought, anyhow, of the ceremony was that, and then it was toward the beginning. But
one of those that I liked, I think it was Jimmy Carter's son. I think so, or one of his relations, one of his relatives, and he was talking about how Jimmy Carter, former President Jimmy Carter, didn't really get technology.
Right,
he didn't understand technology all that well, and because his phone rang at one point, and he answered it, and he said, "Hello." He's like, "Yeah, what do you want?" It's like, "Dad, you called me." Like, "No, I didn't. I'm taking a picture."
like every day at my house, I'm telling you.
All right. Some of the things happening in Washington, D.C. today. One of the most important cases, at least in the social media age, free speech and national security colliding at the Supreme Court today in arguments over the fate of TikTok. You've heard about it. Maybe you've seen it. I mean, if you've been anywhere near Facebook, Instagram, or any of the other social media things, you know what a TikTok is. It's a short video showing somebody doing something silly.
Usually dancing.
Well, I mean, that's how it started. That's how it got popular. Yeah. Now they do everything. The one that gets stuck in my algorithm, not on TikTok, but on the other social medias, is cooking. And so that's there a lot. You know, here's this great easy thing to make, or look how ridiculous this thing is. Never eat that. So anyway, TikTok, one of the great banes of our existence, and a wildly popular digital platform, where roughly half the people in the United States are using this.
Yeah.
Roughly half the people in the United States using TikTok. Half the people.
Half of them.
I think the only thing that we use more than TikTok is gasoline.
Right.
Something like, or electricity, or the internet.
They asked one time young people if you only could live with three things.
Right.
And most of them chose the internet and social media over water.
Yeah.
They would rather have social media.
Social media
water.
Instead of water. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's about where we are right now.
Yeah.
TikTok could be shut down on January 19th unless the United States Supreme Court strikes down or otherwise delays the effective date of a law aimed at forcing TikTok's sale by its Chinese parent company ByteDance. Absent such relief, the act will take effect on January 19th. That's what TikTok said in their December filing, that would shut down TikTok, which again is one of the nation's what they call most popular speech platforms for its more than 170 million domestic monthly users. Working on a tight deadline, the justices also have before them a plea from President-elect Donald Trump to give him his new administration time to reach a political resolution and avoid deciding the case. So unclear if the court will take the Republican president-elect's views into account on this. But TikTok and China-based ByteDance, as well as content creators and users, are arguing the law is a dramatic violation of the Constitution's free speech guarantee. I think what the issue here is TikTok has effectively made this a discussion about the platform, about the social media, about what you and I see.
Yes.
If we go to TikTok, which is information sharing. And a lot of quote unquote social influencers have made a lot of money.
Yes, they have.
Off of this platform and others.
Right.
Because if you think about it, it's a way to get the word out about what it is you're doing, you're liking, you're using, you're endorsing, whatever else. Okay, that's one level of it, and that's what TikTok has made this about. TikTok and the users who want to see TikTok unfettered in the marketplace.
Yes.
What they haven't said is what the core of the argument at the first place is that there are algorithms behind the scenes that are addicting kids to the platform, which if you have something, let's say if you were to add an addictive element to food that we eat that you know is going to addict somebody to crave it more and more, like heroin, I think people would have a problem with it. So that's one aspect.
Yep.
The other aspect that's very concerning is what it does for national security.
Yes.
And so again, what is it doing with the data? What kind of messages, what kind of propaganda is it allowing to be spewed and spread across the nation? So I think the Supreme Court justices, if they've done their homework, which I'm sure they have, or at least their staffs have,
right,
have a lot to consider in thinking about the spirit of the law that Congress passed that would force the sale of TikTok. It isn't saying get rid of TikTok. It's saying get rid of the foreign ownership so there's no appearance of impropriety here that affects our national security.
Right. But is that going to become a shell game? In other words, are they going to sell
Everything's a shell game,
right,
Mike.
I mean, they're going to sell it to a U.S.-owned company who ultimately is in trust to a Chinese-owned company. And so it's all just smoke and mirrors.
Could absolutely be that. Absolutely. However, as long as it's there and you have an ability for some level of oversight, then maybe it's fine. Because I mean, what's the alternative? The alternative is, okay, shut down TikTok. Well, TikTok will say, shut down Facebook.
Right. Well, and I think too the other part of that is if China is owning it, what can we do to regulate it? Nothing really. If we have a U.S. owned company,
Right,
we can regulate.
They can do whatever they want. Yeah, if it's China. Yeah. Anyway, so the U.S. Supreme Court is hearing the arguments, and they will have to decide something. They'll have to issue some sort of order. My suspicion is that if indeed the need to act by January 19th is real, then the Supreme Court will probably stay it and at least allow a temporary pause in everything. They won't come out with it. My prediction is they won't come out with any kind of decision,
right?
Other than to say, all right, let's give the parties, the entities here, time to negotiate. Given that you've got a new administration coming into office that fully supports TikTok,
right?
Blah 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 blah.
Well, and it's such a groundbreaking issue.
Yeah,
because of
precedent
technology.
setting. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
and
yeah,
we love when non-technology people get involved in technology law.
Oh, yeah, love when politicians get involved in legislation about things they know nothing about.
Right, and think about medical things.
Right.
Anyway, all right. And speaking of internet and China, because one of the reasons that we're we as a country are a little bit angry with China right now is they keep doing silly stuff, or at least accused of doing silly stuff.
Well, they keep having viruses.
Well, that too. Yeah. Computer viruses, human viruses.
Right.
All
kinds of viruses.
Chinese government officials are suspected to be behind an international undersea cable that was damaged earlier this month in the Strait of Taiwan there between China and Taiwan. Yeah. The Chunghwa Telecom also went to Taiwan's Coast Guard to report an incident where a suspicious vessel reportedly observed along the same route of the affected cable maybe drug anchor again and tried to sever that internet cable. We saw this in Northern Europe, where there was
they were practicing
a Chinese ship where a Russian sailor or a Russian official was apparently aboard, and they cut not one but two internet cables. So Taiwanese Coast Guard officials in the days since this incident has said that a Chinese-linked cargo vessel apparently looks like they cut an internet cable in an incident that spotlighted the island's growing concerns about vulnerabilities that it could be exploited soon by Beijing. Taiwan officials have not cited direct evidence that the ship damaged the cable. And the Taiwan Coast Guard said in a statement this week that it couldn't determine the vessel's intentions, but it did call South Korea's. It called for South Korea, the ship's destination, to help with further investigation. The situation has raised concerns again among Taiwanese authorities about potential gray zone operations or acts that fall below the threshold of war, in particular, that could hamper the island's internet and communications with the outside world. So again, increasing concerns around intimidation from Beijing on Taiwan as China's leaders have continued to make sounds as if, hey, we're going to erase any doubt around this area of who owns Taiwan.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Back to that.
Enough of that. The WSJM Morning Show continues. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. And we're going to have the Bloomberg Market Minute in just a moment. We've got a jobs report coming out later today that will have an impact. That'll be one of the data points that the Federal Reserve looks at as far as inflation goes and whether or not to adjust interest rates. They're currently thinking maybe 2 cuts this year rather than 4.
Yeah.
But maybe they'll roll that back even further.
They might. They might suggest not any.
God, really?
Yeah.
Mortgage rates. I saw this in the news this morning. Mortgage rates are again at their highest levels since July.
Yeah, they keep bumping them up.
Can we look at price fixing in that area?
Yeah, well,
would you mind? Can we look at that?
It is. It's about how much people are willing to pay, and people are paying it because they want to buy a house. And
supply demand is just wreaking havoc with the whole interest rate thing that the Fed is trying to enact.
I'll say my short piece.
Yeah.
And that is,
go for it.
We continue to have the problems with market manipulation.
Okay.
So when we manipulate the markets and don't allow markets to do what they're supposed to do.
You're talking about the government getting involved and trying to sway it one way or another.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Even if it's for good intentions.
Right.
Ultimately, and even sometimes things environmentally, we change something because we think it's going to be better.
Right.
And ultimately we end up goofing things up.
Even worse than before.
Yeah, and I think we do that a lot in the markets. I mean, we don't allow the markets to regulate themselves as far as supply and demand, and we artificially, like we've done with solar and wind and some of we artificially stimulate these markets.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we stop stimulating them and they fall apart, we're like, oh, how did that happen? Well, it's because we stopped funding them.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't really sustainable.
Right.
And so when we do things like that, when we say, hey, we're going to artificially lower rates, like the Fed kept rates, in my opinion, too low for too long. And when they did raise rates, then they had to crank them up because they were behind.
Yeah, really
now
fast.
Now they're concerned that if they lower rates, then they lose their leverage of what to do.
Yeah.
So, and usually when you look back to recessions, a lot of times recessions are because the Fed either got over their skis too much or were too slow to respond.
Yeah.
A lot of them are not naturally occurring. And ultimately, and we'll talk about this in the 8 o'clock hour, my little spot, is about the market has a natural way of contracting and expanding. And when you interrupt that, then bad things happen.
Yeah. I thought you said it was going to be a short little bit.
It was.
No, I'm just kidding.
I could have went longer.
No, that was good. That was good. And I think you're right on many points there, including the getting out over your skis bit.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like the Federal Reserve did have a hold on interest rates at too high a level for too long. And I think of it like a reservoir.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got the spill gates closed and you're holding back the demand for so long, it just keeps building and building and building. And then all of a sudden you try to let a little bit out, it's going to break the dam at some point.
Right.
Yeah. We can say dam when we're talking hydroelectric on the air.
Oh, can we?
Yeah. Yeah. That dam.
Oh.
All right. 7:32.
Dams around here.
7:32. It's a kids show too. It's the WSJM morning WSJM morning show continues. We've got news from ABC coming up after a market update from Bloomberg.
Have you been thinking about building your savings?
You know, at some point, Dave's going to listen to the show and he's going to go, "What are you guys doing? Why are you talking about hydroelectric projects?"
Morning, Dave.
Good morning, Dave. Thanks for letting us do this. The the markets. I mean, again, I was thinking about back to Alan Greenspan, and the reason I know about Alan Greenspan is because he, well before I got to Washington D.C., but while I was in Washington D.C., he was in charge of the Fed.
Yep.
And what I really liked about the way he operated is he wanted to be unpredictable because he knew that, some level of unpredictability about rates and where they would go would help him in achieving his goal. You said, 2% inflation, low unemployment. And so he didn't wait for the Federal Open Market Committee meetings.
Mm-mm.
He would do inter-meeting rate adjustments, and that would take the market by surprise, and things would, nobody would be able to play the market.
Right.
Nobody would be able to have that soft landing.
Right.
Now I also wonder, that was before, you had some computer trading back then,
right?
But now you've got AI helping out with the computer trading.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, I don't even know where you would even begin with this stuff.
Well, there's one of Brian Westbury, which is one of my favorite economists to listen to, talks about, during COVID, his illustration is like when you are in an accident and you break your leg and they give you morphine, then all of a sudden you feel like, well, I'm really not that hurt. I'm okay.
Oh, right.
Until the morphine wears off and you realize, okay,
I'm really
I broke
hurt.
my leg. Yeah. And then in economic terms, that's what we did during COVID.
Yeah.
We shut everything down. Then we threw a bunch of money or COVID or morphine at it.
Yeah.
And all that morphine, it got funneled into the system. Well, now when you start pulling back on that, then all of a sudden you start to feel the pain.
Mm-hmm.
And his concern is we haven't felt the pain of
it's still artificially propped up.
Right. Of the missteps of COVID.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a good point. And I'm sure there are a lot of economists who tell us otherwise.
Oh,
all right. Let's see. What do we have here? Sabotage, TikTok.
John Hawkins is joined us on
Hey,
Facebook.
John, I saw your Facebook post about the tire coming off. Thank goodness you're okay. He was driving and he had a tire come off at speed, and he said it's the second time it's happened.
What?
Yeah. So
what?
Anyway,
we need backstory there.
Yeah, we need some backstory, John. What are you doing? You going too fast? You running over the rumble strips? What's going on? All right, so we'll have more. Go ahead.
Snowing in Southwest Tennessee, he says.
Hey, nice. And I also enjoy his comments when he says they don't know how to drive. They don't know how to handle snow in Tennessee.
Oh, no.
Yeah. All right, we've got to get back to the morning show.
National Day of Mourning was held for former President Jimmy Carter. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
WSJM, the morning show continues. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me this morning is Mike Weibel. It's 7:35, 25 minutes before 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, we'll have news from ABC. We'll have our WSJM news as well as sports. We've got a couple of those things coming up in just a moment. Actually, we'll get the latest state news from Michigan News Network before we get our sports update from Dave Wolf. I'm sure he'll talk a little bit about the Fighting Irish.
I'm sure. There's nothing else to talk about.
Notre Dame winning last night. I mean, I guess they're going to the national championship, right?
Yeah. No.
Good on them.
It is. It is. They've peaked in the right time of the season.
Congratulations, Notre Dame fans. Right. You can continue to go to another.
I thought,
what happened to the whole I'm going to one bowl game and done?
Yeah, it's over.
You just keep playing?
Well, they have now a playoff system involved because it's a moneymaker. That's why there was, you were going to the Cheetos Bowl,
that's right,
the Toilet Bowl, and all these bowls that you got invited to because it was a moneymaker. Didn't mean anything anymore.
Okay. 23 degrees.
Okay, done with that. 20 loves to talk about football.
23 degrees in Benton Harbor. St. Joseph, 23 degrees. South Haven, 24 degrees. New Buffalo, it's 22 and snowing there. We've got snow flurries here. We heard of some light snow happening in Buchanan. We also know it's snowing in Tennessee.
I was going to say it's snowing from Buchanan to Tennessee.
Well, we've got at least one of our video live stream viewers. John is giving us a weather report from Tennessee this morning, so we appreciate that. The forecast for today does call for snow, a chance of accumulation somewhere between 1 and 4 inches, depending on which forecast you believe, but some accumulation is possible. A high today around 27 degrees, south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight's forecast, cloudy skies, 70% chance of light snow continuing this evening, a low around 22 and west winds at 5 miles per hour. Saturday's forecast, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies tomorrow, west winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Maybe we'll have some sunshine like we did yesterday.
I know, that was unexpected. Great.
So nice. So nice to see those clear skies.
Close the blinds in my office because it was so bright.
I know. And the sun was coming at, its winter angle.
Yeah, that lower.
It was so fun.
It heats up I have a corner right there. It's got 2 windows.
Oh, you're in the corner office.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in the corner office.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So when the sun's low, man, my office heats up.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Nice. Sunday, mostly cloudy, chance of snow late in the day, low of 18, high around 28. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we go back to cloudy skies, chance of snow, highs in the mid-20s, lows in the upper teens and lower to mid-20s. We should talk about CES. Look, I'm going to give you another assignment. Look up your favorite product on CES that they unveiled this week in Las Vegas. We'll talk about those things and more coming up in just a few minutes right here on the WSJM Morning Show.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Wildfires around Los Angeles burning for a 4th straight day as firefighters continue struggling to put out the blazes. In other neighborhoods, evacuees are returning to find all that's left of their homes and communities.
Half my block was gone. It's emotional.
Andrew Schwartz, who fled with his spouse and 2 young children from Pacific Palisades. L.A. County Sheriff Robert Luna says first responders are not only putting out fires, they're also conducting rescue missions.
The majority of the people they are having to rescue out of homes and vehicles are individuals that chose not to evacuate, not only putting themselves in danger, but putting the first responders in more significant danger.
10 people have been killed in the wildfires. 10,000 homes and other buildings have been destroyed. Sentencing for Donald Trump today in his hush money case. The Supreme Court refused to delay it. Supreme Court hearings today on the future of TikTok as well. This is ABC News.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
It's getting spicy on our video live stream.
What did I miss?
Oh, you just go back and look at the comments. It's a really funny one from Teresa. Thank you, Teresa. We appreciate you. It's 7:39. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me this morning is Mike Weibel. Some of the news that we're following this morning from the WSJM newsroom. Parents across Southwest Michigan yesterday started receiving notification about a cybersecurity event. This one affecting student information systems at area schools. On Wednesday, school districts across the country learned about the cyber breach that actually happened back in December. There's a vendor that a lot of schools use called PowerSchool. Maybe you even have their app. And they became aware of a breach that gave hackers access to a bit of student information. So we'll talk about that and what local officials are thinking. That's coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. Another hurdle has been cleared for locating that new Tractor Supply business in Benton Township. It's going to be a 21,000 square foot retail site. I mean, that's a fair size.
Yeah, it is.
That's a fair size, and employing about 50 full and part-time people. Part of the development, however, includes remediating part of the brownfield site that they have there. They've got some arsenic in the soil. So we'll talk about that coming up at 8 o'clock. And then also, if you're traveling on Browntown Road near Cleveland Avenue, that crossing south of Baroda, that is down to one lane for some emergency work on a failed culvert. I don't know if you've seen the picture that we posted on the WSJM.com website.
I have not.
Take a look at it.
I've got an assignment. I can't look at everything that you throw at me.
Take a look at it. That's another assignment. We're piling it up today. The folks who were inspecting culverts as part of their regular job, there's culverts all over the county.
Yeah.
To make sure the water keeps flowing everywhere where it should be so that we can live and farm dry land. Well, sometimes the culverts get a little overwhelmed and they have structural problems. This one is an emergency issue. It's going to cost $1.5 million to fix. And so we posted pictures of the culvert, the failed culvert or failing culvert on our website. It's you can see why they narrowed it down to one lane. They were going to close the road altogether, but they decided they better hold off on that because the structural integrity is fine and it would cause a big pain.
Yes.
So, all right, 7:42. Those stories and more coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. We've got more here. We'll get our state news and then sports from Dave Wolf.
The Michigan News Network.
I'm Beth.
Okay. Oh, you're doing the assignment for the CES stuff.
Right.
Okay, good. You have any plans this weekend?
We've been invited to a very competitive Scrabble game on Saturday.
Oh, why did you have to bring up Scrabble?
I don't know. I'm not very good at like the person that is put this together.
Okay.
Talks about how he likes to hoard the Q so he can get a 7 or 8 letter word made out of Q.
Yeah.
And I said, is there any words that for Q other than QUE? And he laughed at me. So
the reason I'm sore about you bringing up Scrabble is because over the holiday, excuse me, period. Stephanie asked me just out of the blue one day, "Hey, want to play Scrabble?" Now, if you know Stephanie, my wife, you know that she does not often partake in board games.
Okay.
Because she knows herself, she's incredibly competitive, and it never ends well. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Scrabble is one of those that she plays, and she's very good at Scrabble.
Okay.
And she kicked my tail from one side of the dining room to the other when we played Scrabble this time around. And I thought I had some pretty good words.
Yeah, we got 2 teachers.
I think I had fro, like to and fro. I had fro. That was a good one.
Yeah, it's good.
I kept setting her up and getting her like triple word scores or whatever the heck the thing is. But anyway, go ahead.
Slaughtered. I'm just going to get slaughtered. I mean, I went to school during the whole phonics phase. So, yeah. So if we're sounding out Scrabble, if we can do sound out Scrabble, I mean, I'd tear it up. But actually spelling it correctly, yeah.
Well, Stephanie has this worn book that is the words allowed in Scrabble. It doesn't even have a cover on it.
Oh.
Somebody ripped off the cover in probably anger at some point.
A Scrabble legalist.
Oh, yeah. And in that book are all the words that are allowed in Scrabble. What makes that the Bible?
Right.
And it's an old book.
It's not even current.
What if I'm going to use new words?
Right.
That I made up.
Like TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok.
You know that's not in there.
It's not in there.
No.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, that's good. Good luck with that.
Thanks.
Do you want some strategies?
Yes, please.
Read the dictionary starting tonight.
Well, I said to my wife, I said, maybe we should practice.
Yeah.
She's like, what is that? And I'm like we could sit around and we could only use words that have 6 letters or more and just go back and forth on spelling. But
I would like to do a version where you just use proper nouns, because proper nouns are not allowed in Scrabble, in the typical traditional Scrabble. But if you could use only proper nouns, that'd be fun.
it would
be a long game.
Would be.
Yeah. Well,
so you ran out of tiles.
And the funny thing is, in the game of Scrabble, and Stephanie's loving this right now because she beat me. She beat me fair and square, and she beat me even though there was a period of time during the game I was counting all the scores from the tiles that had already been covered when I did something else to the word.
Yeah,
you're not supposed to do that. You only count them once. I didn't know that.
Oh,
and she corrected me.
Man, you get taken to school.
I do.
Yeah.
And I'm usually pretty good at board games. So maybe I'll break out the cribbage board. I like playing cribbage.
Oh, yeah. We've talked about that.
Yeah, that's fun. CES, did you start looking at some of the fun stuff?
Yeah, some very cool stuff.
Yeah.
So a company called Jackery has a new solar roof panel.
Oh.
Sort of like Elon's roof tile.
Oh, yeah. Those roof tiles are so cool.
A really cool idea, actually.
So Stephanie and I were thinking about this when we were on our vacation out in California. We were at a house that had and there are a lot of solar panels on houses out there because they want to use the sun. They supposedly get a lot of sun. In this area, we had rain for a few days, but it made me think, with all the solar panels that are installed on roofs, how do you replace the roof? Because there's an area that's not covered that's going to require replacement.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've got a structure on top of your roof, that area is not going to need replacement, but you're going to probably want to replace. I don't know. Do you take the solar panels off? Do you put them on the ground? Do you have to have a professional reinstall them? Is it becoming like plumbing and electricity and everything else when you do that? So I love the idea of the solar tiles.
Yeah.
That's your roof.
The other thing is I had cousins, they have a pool and they had a panel on the roof to heat the pool water, right?
Yeah.
Because it's better. But then
It's not better because the pool water never gets warm.
No, and those tiles are up there, those panels are up there, and then they leak, and then you have a roof leak now because you've poked holes that it's just a cascading bad situation.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the pool at the place was heated by solar. No sun.
Yeah.
No warmth.
A little chilly.
Yeah. Put my toe in.
I get
not
that.
even.
So there's another product called OSnap.
Okay. OSnap.
So OSnap basically turns your phone into a gaming system. So it just connects on the bottom and has little
paddles or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great for kids, right?
Okay.
Robo Rock Soros Z70. So it's basically a Roomba with an arm. I actually saw this
a Roomba, so like a robot vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, so it's a robot vacuum cleaner, but when it runs up against something like a sock or a dog toy
or a
something
cat,
like that, it has an arm that comes out and picks it up and then takes it over to and dumps it in there. So it picks up after you too.
Okay, I can see that.
Until you're, like you said, until the cat all of a sudden gets picked up and stranglehold. Then the WeWalk Smart Cane too.
Oh, okay.
So it's
what's that do?
It's a cane that it's by AI, and so it's for like walking, and it senses like if you're visually impaired, it will basically continue to talk to you about what's coming up and what's in front of you, and you can use it to basically talk to you.
Okay, cool. Let's talk some more in just a moment on the WSJM Morning Show.
Accumulation, most of that happening this afternoon and this evening. High temperatures right around 27. Take it easy on the roads. Morning will be easy. It's the afternoon and evening that will be the concern. Light snow tonight. We drop down to 22. And then for tomorrow, 28 with mostly cloudy skies. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
It's 7:49. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me, besides you, which you're very important, I appreciate you. Thank you for listening, is Mike Weibel, co-host here, who's been busy with his assignment. We've been talking about
I'm sweating today. It's like a sweatshop in here.
Well, it's either this or homework. What do you want? You want
right.
All right. In situ assignments or homework assignments. We're looking at CES.
So the big winner,
the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. Go ahead.
Is that Smart Cane, which the more I read about it, it's called the WeWalk Smart Cane 2.
Yeah.
So it's AI, but it's sort of like Google Maps, but for people who are blind.
Okay.
So it talks you like, if you're walking to a corner, it's telling you how many more steps to take, turn left.
Wow.
And then it also warns you about, because it begins to learn the area that you're in, and other people, obviously, if there's hazards and whatnot. So it's something that you, as you're walking, it's talking to you.
That is
and you
so
can ask
cool.
it questions, and it will, like if you said, you're staying in some place and say, I need to get to a store.
Yeah.
Then it would talk to you on where you need to go to get to that store.
What?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
It is. They said it's one of the items that's the best in show.
Okay.
And they actually would say it was something that, you could see out in the marketplace today, not futuristic.
Yeah.
That would be a huge improvement.
That is super cool.
I
I see other things that you could use that for.
Right.
You just mentioned it, like picking up the dog poo out in the yard.
Well, that's
find the poo. And scoop it up for me. A Roomba outside that could do that.
I don't know if they have it programmed for finding poop, but maybe.
No, that is really cool, because if you think about it, especially if you're visually impaired and you're if you've got your daily routine, where everything is, that's one thing.
Right.
But if you want to go somewhere, if you want to visit friends or something like that, go out of town, this thing, it sounds like it'd take you around.
Right. And so you think about if you went
That's really cool.
You went to a stadium, or you went to some place where.
Don't go to stadiums.
Well,
no, go ahead.
No, but if you I need to find a restroom, and it can talk you through the crowd, and
I
mean, it's a huge, that could change people's lives.
Big time.
Right.
Big time. So did you notice whether or not that's currently available, or is that a concept deal? Because a lot of what they're doing,
most of it's concept
is concept. A lot of it, but they do bring some more stuff out. One of the ones that I found that I thought was cool was a battery made of paper.
Oh, really?
A battery made of paper. Batteries are in every device we have. We have either the disposable, which everybody hates because of the environmental stuff, or and they run out in like 2 seconds, or we have the rechargeables, which thank goodness the phone batteries are getting better, because the rechargeable batteries, the individual ones, those things just seem to cop out after a couple of weeks. Anyway, the batteries, we have all that stuff. It takes up a lot of material. And then eventually, where do they go? To the landfill. Well, these new batteries from a startup in Singapore has a different idea. Rechargeable, flexible batteries that are made of paper. They're made of cellulose. And so when the batteries expire, they biodegrade in about 6 weeks.
Wow.
6 weeks. So they got the Best of CES Sustainability Award for the year. Yeah.
Very cool.
So that was kind of cool.
So the WeWalk Smart Cane, one is available on Amazon.
Ooh, how much?
$2.99.
Okay.
But the 2 is not out yet, but obviously it's coming, because the 1's out there.
That's the one they want to do.
So the one actually connects to your phone.
Okay.
And talks to you through your phone, but this one has its own AI built into the cane. So I am excited about that.
That is pretty cool. That is really cool. Let's see. What else do we have from CES? Oh, there's an air purifying cat perch. This is kind of an innovation where they took existing things and merged them together.
Yeah.
Cat owners know cats will climb onto just about anything they want. So why not make a bed or a perch more useful, they say. That's the idea behind LG's AeroCat Tower. A scoop-shaped bed, kind of like a concave or convex thing that sits on top of an air purifier. And it also, without the cat knowing it, weighs the cat to keep track of its health in that respect.
Oh, man.
It also can report how much sleep your cat gets. So if you ever go, you walk into the house and you've got a cat and you look at him with that accusatory glare, you've been sleeping all day, haven't you? And the cat usually says, no, I've been working. I've been busy, remote work, all that other stuff. No, so you can track how much sleep it gets, how much it weighs, and all this other stuff. I think once you buy that, though, the cat will never use it.
No,
that's my thought. But it's got an air purifier in it, so the cat dander goes down a little bit, which is what a lot of people are allergic to. Let's see. Another thing, there's a smart garden with special effects. And this is kind of cool looking. I don't know if you've seen this one yet, but it can sit on your kitchen countertop. It's about twice the size of a rice cooker. So it's a little big. But if you have a huge kitchen, you can use it. But you can plant lettuce in it. It says you can grow up to 15 plants at a time using fogponics. Fogponics. It's a combination of fog and nutrients. It's self-cleaning, self-watering. There's an app, of course, to track growing progress and supply levels of the nutrients. It's available on the market now for $500. It's a little expensive. You can grow lettuce, you can grow herbs, everything else, but you don't have to remember to water it. And it disperses the stuff through fog.
Okay, this has got your name written all over
Okay,
it.
let's go.
This is the Kirin Electric Salt Spoon.
Electric salt spoon?
Salt spoon.
I don't like it already because I think it's going to try to limit my salt intake.
No, actually, it says, do you love food being extra salty?
Oh, okay.
So if you do, this company has come up with this salt that has a small electric current going through the spoon that causes your mouth to taste things saltier than they actually are. So
it wants to shock me
into liking things.
Okay.
So you're like, oh, this is so salty, so shocking to me that it is. Well, it is because the spoon is actually has a electric spoon, and it makes your food taste saltier.
Okay, so you use the spoon while you're eating, and it gives you the sensation of something being saltier than it really is, so it improves your health that way.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but it's interesting.
Well, didn't have to like it, just is. So this article is the 10 weirdest things at CES.
Okay.
That being one of them.
That's fun. Got another one? We have time.
I'm looking. Smart glasses.
There's an electric door that unlocks your door in a smarter way. They say when your hands are full, a smart lock can welcome you inside the home. It has unlockability with either voice command, or you can set it so that when your Bluetooth gets in range. So when your phone gets in range of the Bluetooth receiver, it automatically unlocks.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool. It's the Schlage Sense Pro Smart Deadbolt. And so it contains an ultra-wide radio band that detects the speed, trajectory, and motion of the connected phone. So it locks it right as you reach the door, not like 20 feet before you get there.
I that's one of my things. When I get home, come home basically the same time most days.
Right.
Front door's locked. I got my hands full, then I have to unlock the door. It's got one of those little slides that covers the door lock. So you have to slide that out of it. So yeah, if I could just walk up to the door and it would be like Alexa, hello, Mike, and open up the door for me, I would be
it'll do that, but it will do that so that the bad guys can't get in too.
Right.
So that's a good thing. All right, we've got to get a couple messages in here. We've got more to talk about. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
Stunning sights.
I don't know where the time's going this morning. The clock's running fast.
We're on fire.
Is that it?
Morning.
In Fuego?
Yeah.
All right, fine. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on today's video live stream. Let me see. I do that one, and I do that one. All right. I think do we have time for that one? We don't have time for that one. So we'll have to move that one over to here. Sorry, this is the behind-the-scenes interesting stuff that you get.
Exciting.
I promise it's interesting.
There's the Razer Project Ariel. It is a gaming chair that heats and cools itself. So as you sit in, it keeps it nice and toasty or cool, depending on what your body requires.
I probably need that.
Yeah, especially here.
Yeah. Well, or at home, a little gaming here and there never hurts. Yeah. All right, we're going to get back to the show here. Thank you for joining us on the video live stream today. We'll wrap it up in a couple of minutes, and enjoy your weekend. Be careful of the snow out there. We do expect a small accumulation. We'll see how it goes. I see in the parking lot we've got some snow out there, so it's slippery out there already.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back.
WSJM.
We were just cautioning people, do be careful out there on the roadways because we've got some flurries. We've got a little bit of snowfall. We expect more to happen today. In fact, a winter weather advisory goes into effect at 10 o'clock for our area.
Right.
And so, you're chancing it if you go out there after 10 o'clock. No, I'm just kidding. It's just going to be winter. So we get maybe somewhere between 1 and 4 inches of snow today. The snow will stop sometime overnight, and then tomorrow it's just going to be a mostly cloudy day. It is January 10th. It's 8 o'clock. We've got ABC News right now and local news coming next.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Crews working through another night trying.
Hang on. Do you want to be on the live stream? Because
Yeah.
we're on the live stream right now.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
go
do.
ahead. Start again.
So for the live stream on Friday, we
Yeah.
got these nice little jazzy lead-ins. We need the morning show dancers.
Oh,
so
the
we
mor-
can just stand in the background, and when it comes in, they could do like a background little dance for us.
The morning show dancers.
Yeah.
I'm going to put some thought to that. I think there's a way to make it happen where we don't have to hire anybody.
I'm going to call Lorraine. Lorraine will get us some morning show dancers.
We're not going to do that. We'll put some thought to it. We'll be back
we
in
can call Lorraine.
Monday morning. We got to get Lorraine in here as a guest sometime.
We did once.
Well, she was kind of a guest.
She was my guest.
Oh, that's right. That was that thing. Anyway,
Bad thing.
Yeah,
That's very
on
dishonoring.
on the radio program and on the live stream, the audio live stream, we'll have Flick Pick coming up from Andrew Green. He is reviewing Baby Girl. So if you've not seen that, Baby Girl is a movie that he saw, and I don't know how he felt about it. Probably enjoyed it. I don't know. Sometimes he gets forced into movies because there's nothing else that he hasn't seen already.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, so Baby Girl, maybe that's one of them. I don't know. We'll find out. We also have some financial information coming up from Mike Weibel from Baird Private Wealth Management, Mike Weibel. And so we'll have that and more on the radio. Thanks for tuning into the video live stream. We'll be back on Monday.